Hi everyone. I'm having a hot flash right now. It is 5 of 8, and come dinner time, my gabapentin is certainly worn off, and that's when my hot flashes start. Whew, this is what it looks like when you're just like hot. This actually feels really nice right now. I wanted to come on. I wasn't planning on vlogging today because today's my first full day empty nesting. Nothing to do with breast cancer. But today's my first full day of like being at home and not having my kids here. Hasn't quite sunk in yet. But what I want to talk about today, my last vlog I had mentioned how I got some like bad press. I don't know if this is poor form too, because like I had a half a glass of wine and I'm not a big drinker. And it's Bordeaux, and I don't even really like Bordeaux. I just bought it because I guess I forgot that I didn't like Bordeaux. But I bought myself a nice dinner and I got a bottle of wine and I'm like, let me just chill out and watch Grey's Anatomy, like how 1994 is that, and just like give myself a break. I have tennis head because I was supposed to do the ball machine, but no one showed up to do the ball machine. Hello, COVID and underemployment. So I was playing against the wall, and I have to say, which I guess this is related to breast cancer after my mastectomy. That's a question I have. Like, do you call it a double mastectomy every time? Or can you just say I had a mastectomy? Like, is it assumed that if you have a mastectomy, that just means you had one boob removed? I had two removed, but it's a lot of syllables to say, like, I had a double mastectomy. That seems too specific. Way specific. Just said, I have a bilateral, or had a bilateral mastectomy. Like, with reconstruction. I'm not saying that. Anyhow, so the reason why I came on, it was because my last vlog, I had gotten bad press. I had gotten a negative YouTube comment, which is just like insensitive and like whatever. You can watch the old vlog. I'm not going to stay on the negative. But today, I don't even remember which video it was the video about me being annoyed and angry and whatever. And it's interesting because I got a comment on that. Thank you. Basically validating the fact that I am sharing, and like she, or actually I don't know if it's a she or he they mentioned that they're tired of being like sunshiny and smiley all the time. Like you kind of have to, put on this fake smile like I'm fine, whatever, even if you're not. And I've heard over several things, I've been through, yes, the trauma of breast cancer. What else can I add to that list? I've been in a car accident before, like car totaled. I was okay. But yeah, I totaled my car. I hit black ice. Went through divorce. I don't know. I can go through a whole list of my whole life, and I'm not doing that. But the point is, I've been through several traumatic experiences in my life, and I was told, especially, not this is traumatic, but after having kids, my friends, I was the first of a bunch of my friends to have kids. I had my first child when I was 29. I was, or maybe I was 30 already. No, I was 29. He was born in April, and I turned 30 in December, so same year. Because I was so dead set on, like, I have to have a child before I turn 30 because, that's just what you're supposed to do at the time. Anyhow, so my friends hadn't had kids yet, and, like, they'd asked me, questions or whatever, and I'm like, I'm not going to sit here saying that, like, it's all roses and sunshine and happy and cheery. I mean, yes, you have a baby, and yes, the beginning kind of sucks. And I can say that now because my kids are like, well, clearly I'm an empty nester as of yesterday, and they're not here. And they're two awesome kids, and I busted my ass for them to be awesome kids, and parent the best that I can. And I've gotten like so many compliments about my kids and about my parenting and whatever. If there's one thing I know that I aced in this world, it's my parenting. And I was a pretty kick-ass teacher too. But anyway, the parenting thing. So I don't sugarcoat stuff. I'm not like, I used to blame that on, like, you know, I'm just not a glass half full kind of person. It took a lot of work on my part to but to be a glass half full kind of person, because I didn't want to be negative all the time. You know, I just found myself being really sarcastic, just in general, and I think that's what actually helped make me a really good middle school math teacher, because the kids are really sarcastic. So if you're sarcastic too, you kind of blend together and understand each other. But yeah, so I've been told by friends of mine how beneficial they actually found it when, like, you know, you're up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and your baby's crying and screaming and you don't know what's going on because they can't tell you why they're crying. And I wasn't one of those people that was like, oh, that's a poopy cry and that's a, you know, a whiny cry. I didn't know. It was a freaking cry and it's 3 a.m. and I want to freaking sleep. Anyhow. So, the point is, like, I'm a very authentic, real person, which I'm pretty sure you've probably figured out by now. Like, I did not get myself all dolled up for the vlog. I'm like, here's just what I look like. I'm gonna hit play. The only thing I did was refill my wine and make sure I had chips next to me from, look how healthy these are. Did you see the grease? Oh my God, like underneath. Oof. They're chips from Moe's. Anyway, about, like, you know, it's okay to be honest about stuff. You don't have to paint this picture like, oh yeah, parenting is awesome, and you feel like you have to compare yourself with, like, other parents, you know, about how perfect everything is, because God forbid, especially I see with women, God forbid that you should be honest and say, you know what, I'm tired, or you know what, things suck, or you know what, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing when it comes to parenting, or when it comes to whatever. And after, especially, like, now that I've gone through all the drama of my breast cancer diagnosis, oh, it's been a while since I had the cuckoo clock go off during a vlog. Nostalgia. You know, now that it's been a while, like, I let it rip. Like, I don't, you know, I'm not going to sit there smiling and trying to be perfectly happy all the time. Like, of course I'm grateful to be here. Oh my God, yes. And there are so many positive things right now that I'm blessed to have. One random thing I noticed on my left side here, my scar on the edge here is like, it's skin colored. I looked close and I'm like, what the hell? Like, it is not pink red at all. It is skin colored. It's almost like when you have, like, a stretch mark where, like, the skin just looks different, but it's not red. I mean, it'd be great if that was like that the whole way through, but it's not. But even it was at one section, so, like, I'll take it, you know? The middle section here, it almost seems like my boob is too, like, the implant is, like, too heavy for the skin, because it's funny that I, you know, especially when I hit the 1 year mark, I look back at old pictures and I see, like, my scar, you know, the stitching was like a very thin line, and it almost seems like it's wider now. Like, the implant is so heavy that it's like pulling my skin apart. I'm not over analyzing that with my left side, because I know I'm going to have another reconstruction or another surgery to tweak my reconstruction. So I'll have another scar. So I don't really care what it looks like now, because I know that it'll be different. But I was excited to see that, like, the edge of my scar is like, I couldn't see it. And honestly, the scars where my drains were, I'd have to stare super, super, super close to even have an idea of where they were. You have, let me think. I mean, I imagine it's 2 slits, but I feel like there was a third. I mean, I had 2 drains on both sides, but I feel like there was a third cut or something, and I don't recall why I'm thinking that. And I can't even see those scars now. So there are positive things. Positive things is I'm wearing a white shirt right now, and, like, I don't have, like, THOs at all. Well, it's not even cold outside for me to have THOs. I guess if you don't know what a THO is, well, hide your kids' ears, because I don't like the T word, but THOs are titty hard-ons when your nipples are erect. Anyway, I'm not inebriated. I'm feeling very validated right now. and I'm still in this weird place because of the whole like dropping the kids off at college thing. But like I don't have nipples right now, so like I can wear a white t-shirt and have it like totally like over here, and like I have no bump for a nipple, which is kind of cool. I mean, people wear bras that they don't have to have those bumps. I don't need a bra. I can just like, you know, here they are. And because my scars are lighter, I can wear a white shirt and you're not even like, you can't even tell. Like I would totally go out in public like this. Maybe not if I saw a lot of people, but I would step outside to take my trash out or something. And if I ran into someone, it wouldn't be a big deal because you can't see my scars through even this white t-shirt. So there's bizarro positive things inside of all of this crazy. Would I love to have no scars? Of course, but that just was not the path that my life was taking. So anyway, my point is I'm very grateful to the person that made the comment on my annoyance vlog that like they are tired of having to be happy and cheery all the time. You know, having to put on some face all the time. I'm not saying that you should be wallowing in your like, you know, misery and grief. You can, just don't like stay there. But you gotta just be, you know, okay to just like let things out, you know. For a long time when I was younger, I was so worried about what everybody else thought about stuff. Like I would have to pretend I was X, Y, or Z, you know, and I don't do that anymore at all. You know, I'm me. If you like me, great. If you don't, oh well, you're lost. You know, what are you going to do? It actually, after all this crazy, it makes, at least for me, made me love myself more because I was more protective of myself since all this stuff happened. So that's like my biggest like point to make today is like, you know, it's funny because I have a really pretty, here, I'll tilt my tripod back a little bit. I have a really pretty wall decoration there. And I could have adjusted my camera angle to have that on there and be all like Mrs. Perfect with my light. You know, you're not supposed to shoot into the light. Meanwhile, I've got a light right there. And right now my background's pretty boring. But like, I'm not here to do some professional shoot. It's not about that. It's about the message that I'm getting across. And I'm just so happy that when I get these comments from people that like, I like to think I'm allowing people, or by setting an example, that you can just let it rip and be honest about what it is that you're feeling, you know? It is September now, and next month that means it's October. And what's October? Pink ribbon everywhere month, you know? I don't like the color pink. Even before I had cancer, I was never a pink person. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the color pink for no real reason whatsoever. And I'm just not the kind of person that's gonna like, you know, have pink ribbon t-shirts or whatever. I own one. I don't know if I actually even still have it, but that's just not who I am. And, you know, it's okay. Like I made a very healthy choice with dinner, and I had salmon and roast peppers and mushrooms. And then I made a non-healthy choice and then look at that grease. And these are Moe's chips that I had. I don't go to Moe's very frequently, but it was on the way to drop my son off at school. And it's okay to have chips that are super greasy once in a while, you know? People say, you know, you're not supposed to have alcohol when you're, you know, make your cancer come back, whatever. And yes, it could. I'm not going to be sitting here like, I don't know, some days I'm like, nope, I don't want any alcohol at all. And other days I'm like, today's my first day fully empty nesting. So cheers to me. Yeah, don't like Bordeaux. Don't like Merlot either. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, it's all about moderation. It's all about being kind to yourself. And, you know, I was sweating playing tennis. I was proud of myself. I played against the wall today because the machine is still not working. Don't get me started on that. But when you're playing against a wall, you're actually moving a lot more. I do notice that I get winded much faster than I would like to. And I don't know if who's to blame for that is when I had COVID back in, I mean, that was in March of last year. So it's like a year and a half now or so. I know like people that have had COVID, some people tend to have longer lasting lung issues. I mean, my endurance and stuff is pretty good, but like I still have to work up to be able to like play against a wall for an hour. It's a lot. So like, you know, my hair's all sweaty, it's all back to get out of my face, like whatever, I don't care. I actually looked really pretty today because I put eyeshadow on. Today was the first day because I'm empty nesting now, I went back to having my 2-job thing. I tutor, and I did that for the first time in person in 2 years. And because of the pandemic, I did Zoom tutoring for a little while. Most kids didn't really like to do tutoring that way, and I didn't find it as effective either. But then like with the brain fog and stuff and all the crazy that happened with, you know, even before I had cancer, all the health issues that were going on, I'm like, I can't be on my game to help anybody else. So it was really a big deal today that I'm like, I can be on my game to, you know, help somebody else because like I'm good at this and I get through to kids. And yeah, so it was really weird. It's such a weird place. I'll digress for a second about the empty nesting thing because, okay, so yesterday, now we're just like sitting chit-chatting. Here's my happy pillow. I'm trying to pretend to be happy, but it's okay. Whoop. It's okay to be sad. And this, I need to have this as my thumbnail because this is perfect. This is perfect for exactly for why I wanted to do a vlog today. You can't make everyone happy. You're not a taco. You can only do whatever you can do. You know, that's it. Hopefully this is not backwards because that would suck. It is backwards on my phone, but hopefully it's not actually backwards. I do know how to flip it in case it is backwards. But this is so accurate because, you know, try to make everyone happy, put on a smiley face. Put on your smiley face, you know, and sometimes you're just not feeling this. This is the best, you know, please rewind to the Everyone Needs a Friend Like Laura vlog. She's amazing. But this is just so, I put this by on the couch here and I'm like, no, well, not that I'm living with anyone now because my kids are off to school, but you know, I think this is a great way to just inform whoever is living in your home how you're feeling before like they even have to ask you, how you doing? Fine, even though you're not really fine. Like all I would have to do is do this and then my kids would know maybe today's not the best day to ask mom for something, you know, because that's how I'm feeling. But then I don't want to stay there. So I'll be like, okay, I'm going to flip it over and find what I'm grateful for. I'm so amusing, aren't I? But I love this. This is hysterical. And it's funny because like Tex, my taco, is not a taco anymore because he has no lettuce or toppings. He's just like a burrito with stuff on the inside, which is fine, which is just fine. So, yeah, I have nothing like I guess huge is going on right now just to catch you up on things. Oh, my shoulder, like, so I did play tennis today for, I think I went like 40 minutes and then like I was just like huffing and puffing a lot and I'm like, I need to just give my body a break. I could have gone longer, but I'm like, my body's been through a lot, like moving in yesterday, moving a kid into college. Even if people are like carrying stuff for you, it's still kind of exhausting. But with my arm and all the drama that has happened here, I am grateful that I was able to play against the wall and play well. I hit good shots back and forth. I had a volley or rally. I always confuse those two. I'm not like a professional tennis player, clearly. Back and forth with myself against the wall, like without stopping, for quite a bit. And that was like super exciting. But when you're like constantly like hitting it at that rapid succession, it was just a lot on my endurance. And I'm like, you know, time to just slow down and stop and take a break or just go home. But I was happy that I could hit the balls in succession that many times for that long. And like now, that happened like 2 hours ago and my shoulder is fine. I used to come back home from like doing stuff, even from work. And I'd put an ice pack right here because like right under here, it would just hurt. And I don't feel that. And I don't know if it's not the wine. I'm not like, anyway, it's not that. It's even from work. Like, I'm taking more breaks at work, but I haven't felt the need to put an ice pack here in a long time, and that's a big deal. I did get, it's over there, but if I show it to you, it's not really going to look like, you know what, I'm going to show it to you anyway. Hold on a second. Whoa, I got a new toy. Actually, I'll show you two things. I got a new toy. Hopefully you can hear me. I use this in physical therapy, and I bought one for myself for home. So, here's my new toy. Say hello! I would put googly eyes on it, but that would make it very uncomfortable to lay on. So, here is my 36-inch foam roller. It's 36 inches long, and it is 6 inches... that's a good question. 6 inches in diameter? Yeah, 6 inches in diameter. And so the white one is not as firm as the black ones that they sell online, like different, like just like TheraBands. Different colors are like different strengths. The white is softer. And having said that, like, even though it's softer, it's still pretty damn hard. Maybe at one point, when I'm not wearing a tennis skirt, I can show you like exercises that I've been doing on this for physical therapy. But the reason I bought this is because I still don't trust my right arm as much as I should. So what I do with this is I'll lay on the floor and then have this up against my, up against my butt. And obviously I have to lift my body up. So what ends up happening is like my spine is here or my butt kind of is here. And then this just like, I'm like laying on it basically with my spinal cord like lined up with the center of this. And in the beginning, it's pretty intense because you're 6 inches off the ground, which doesn't sound like much, but it is a lot when you're like trying to open up. I have this small foam roller. I mean, it's like that wide. It's not very large. And that one I put on my back this way and I roll up and down. This one, my spine goes straight down. So I'll lift myself up to get myself on it because my butt will be here and then lay back. And then once I'm laying back, you know, you're 6 inches off the ground. So it is a very large opener for here because I'm basically having my shoulders go, but they don't hit the floor, but my shoulders open up and go back. And just the act of stretching open like that is a lot. It's a lot. My left side, I can, you know, open up and be comfortable. My left side has just healed better than my right side has because there's less like drama to it. For those of you that are just catching up now, I had 2 lymph nodes removed from my left side, but I had 6 removed from my right side. And my left side, I mean, most of the huge malignant, not huge, but the large malignant tumors that I had were on my right side. So just more was done here. And I had gotten frozen shoulder and just have been having issues with it healing. And my shoulders aren't frozen anymore. My shoulder blade was bothering me for a while, and I considered having trigger point injections, which I actually was going to go ahead and plan on doing. But it's just in the past 2 weeks, I don't know why, this whole journey is a freaking ass crazy, like, what the fuck roller coaster of, like, you know, all of a sudden today, like, my ankles aren't swelling today. Why? I have absolutely no idea. No idea. I had a really long day. I was on my feet for a lot today, and my ankles are not swollen at all. I don't know. So anyways, so I was going to do the trigger point injections, but the past 2 weeks I haven't really had shoulder blade issues. I don't know why. So I'm not obviously doing the trigger point injections if it's better. What I would say is I definitely am doing my physical therapy exercises more frequently, like what I should have been doing all this time, but like I just, I wasn't. But when I lay on that and I have myself open, and like I said, at some point I'll do a vlog about this, but today is a chips and wine kind of night, not an exercise kind of night. You lay back and your shoulders just like come open, and your whole, you know, your chest obviously opens. And at the beginning, it's intense on your spine, but you just kind of have to just breathe into it and just like let yourself loose and let yourself relax. And eventually it doesn't hurt anymore. And it's actually kind of massagey. And then you could like roll back and forth a little bit, like gently, because it's 6 inches off the ground, which is pretty high for a foam roller. But even when I get off, I tend to roll to my left side. I don't go on my right side. When I get into a kayak, I don't trust when I get onto it, because I'm a righty, I get onto it from my right side, and I don't trust it. I don't. I feel like my arm's going to give way, or my shoulder's going to give way, and like I'm going to end up in the water or something. And I have to learn how to trust my body again. Yeah, I know I'm not going to break anything or hurt anything. It's like I'm going to tear something. There's like nothing wrong with my rotator cuff or anything like that. I just have to learn to trust that like my arm is there for me, and it's strong enough to do whatever I was doing before. There's just a weird mind over matter thing that I just haven't been able to quite do that. I'm getting better. Obviously, I'm on the foam roller, and I liked it enough that I purchased one. They're not expensive. I feel like it was like $25 or something on Amazon. It wasn't a lot. I also got kinesiology tape. I don't know how much. Holy cow, is that skin? Look how many layers of skin there are. Oh my God, that's a lot. I wish that people would like pay me to to endorse. But this Kinesio Tex Gold is the kinesiology tape that I've been using on my scars and on several places. She put it on the back, I don't know which, a recent vlog. She put it on the back, like starting on my heel and up the back of my calf, which did wonders for my Achilles. I had some Achilles issues yesterday at move-in, but I've seen a stark improvement since she put the tape on, and I had the tape on for what, three days or something, and that was pretty much a week ago. But this stuff is awesome. So, yeah, the main reason, and also like with this cyst thing that's on my hand, which is annoying the crap out of me, and I really need to go to a hand doctor to see what's going on. It just feels tight, and I'm not super paranoid that it's like something is wrong, but it's hard to like stretch your hand. And I was watching or listening to a podcast from Jen Rosenbaum was interviewing someone, and her guest had said that in the morning it's like even a big deal just to go with your hand and stretch it all the way, because it feels tight, and it just sucks. Like you would never know, like, oh, I have breast cancer, and it's like effort to do this. It makes it, you know, even when I was packing my tutoring bag, I'm like, do I want to write with a pencil? Do I want an mechanical pencil? Do I want to use a pen? Do I want to use a marker? Which marker is not going to soak through the paper? Writing is still a thing. It's still a thing. And even, I mean, regardless of the cyst that's here, it's just like the act of writing is just not very comfortable for me. And that happens a lot. It's the tendonitis that comes along with tamoxifen, you know, shit happens. But anyway, the Kinesio tape, she had taken a piece a while ago and like cut it pretty thin, so it kind of like ran up here, and then she cut it, and I'm pretty sure it's split between these two fingers, because the cyst that I have is like on the tendon from my middle finger. It always seems to be my middle finger. But the kinesiology tape, like she cut it and then it split and had it up here. So it was kind of pulling my hand down, which I thought was interesting, because I think you want to pull it up. I don't know, or maybe she started it while it's been a while. She might have started it when my hand was like super stretched wide. I honestly don't remember, but I do remember it was like a Y shape, and it didn't make this get any bigger or smaller. It just helped with the stretching a bit. It just seems like, you know, every week is something different about like what you're dealing with side effects, and you gotta just roll with it. I mean, roll with it. Get it? Roll. How you roll on this. You gotta just roll with it. You know, some exercises are great, some are not. There's a weird, like especially with this, that like, you know, it's hard. It's pretty hard. And this is the softer of the two. But when I lay myself back and I can just like rest it, I feel like that's partially why my shoulder blade doesn't hurt as much anymore. I don't know. And just like going back and forth a couple times on it does help. Again, I'm not a medical doctor. There should be a little disclaimer thing on the bottom. So don't take any medical advice or anything from me. I'm just sharing my own experiences. This is really from me. I mean, I can do the Achilles thing myself if I want to. I don't remember how she taped my hand. I could ask her. But the reason why I got this for myself was in my hopeful attempt to regain feeling back in more of my boobs. I don't say foobs because the skin is still mine. What's inside is not. What's inside is silicone, but on the outside it is still my skin. And I could be totally wrong, but I do believe in miracles. Maybe one day I will win Powerball, who knows. But this tape, when she put the tape on me before, it hurt coming off. But it hurting means that I felt it hurt. If I was totally numb, it wouldn't hurt. And I didn't really keep up on it so much. I did buy the silicone tape, which is supposed to make your scars lighter. I feel like, I don't know. I don't feel like it like works as much for me. Maybe I waited too long. I didn't know about it, you know, but by the time that I met with my, my breast surgeon just to touch base, I mean, really you're not supposed to, or typically you don't meet with your breast surgeon until a year after surgery. Thank God I asked when I did, because my breast surgeon is moving to Texas, which really stinks. I mean, I'm happy for her. Who am I kidding? I'm mostly upset for me that she's not going to be there anymore, because she's a fantastic doctor, and she's like someone that will give you a hug when you need it. And some doctors are like that and some aren't, you know. She's a fantastic doctor. So I'm happy for her that she's going to Texas. And I'm going to miss her, like, a lot. Just, like, her energy. I mean, she was the first person that, like, when I met with her for, oh my gosh, 2.5 hours. I don't want to think too much about, like, the past right now. I really don't. I'll start getting upset about my kids not being here. And I don't want to go there. I don't want to cry today. I'm going to fake it till I make it. Cheese! But anyway, whether it is going to be effective or not, it's not going to certainly hurt anything. But for crying out loud, I'm going to put this Kinesio tape on my scars. I know you're not supposed to wear it for more than 3 days. I don't really know why. Must be something with blood flow or whatever. But it's been it's been a week. So I'm going kayaking tomorrow. And don't want it to get wet. So I'm going to wait till Sunday, then put them on again. It could do nothing at all. But I pray to friggin' God that, like, something will happen inside of my body that, like, will reactivate my nerve endings and make me have more feeling in my boobs. That's one of the things that I really, like, I didn't know happened with a mastectomy, double mastectomy, whatever. I didn't get the whole, like, you know, you lose feeling. And it's just one of the many things that make a mastectomy not the same, or a reconstruction not the same thing as a boob job, because I don't know for sure, but I would guess that with a boob job, you don't lose feeling in your boobs, because they're putting stuff in there. I don't think I could be wrong, but I don't think they're cutting anything. I don't think they're cutting anything. I think they just put stuff in. Like, even if you have the Allogerm and stuff, I think that's just adding to it. I don't think they take anything away. Clearly, with a mastectomy, you're taking a whole shit ton of stuff away, which makes sense of why, like, you lose sensation because of the nerves being cut. So, I mean, it could be for nothing, but it doesn't hurt, you know. The only weird thing I will say is when you put the tape on, depending on how tight you put it on, it can, like, you know, obviously if you're putting a big, what is this? This is, I feel like it's 2 inches. I can't see. Of course, now that I want to find numbers, I can't find any numbers on here. because it comes in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. Oh, yeah, 2 inches. It's 2 inches, and the box I got is 16.4 feet, which should last me a while. And then the ends are well, I'm not going to show you how I put it on, because I'm not going to show you my boobs. Sorry. There are plenty of people out there that, by the way, that do. That's partly why I was following Jen Rosenbaum, because she's a photographer. She's a boudoir photographer, even before like all this stuff happened with her. And what I liked about her was that she puts pictures of people, like, you know, with their scars and stuff up on social media. Facebook tends to get rid of them because they consider it pornographic, which I get and is stupid, you know. I don't know. It's like we're hanging. Has some classy wine and some Moe's chips. This is me, not like, you know, this is the realness of Jen. Yeah, that's why I liked following her, because her scars looked like mine. And, I mean, she's public, like she said this too, and she's going through a divorce right now. Given all the things I've learned since my divorce, I'd be like, you know, I'm somewhat motivated to reach out to her just to give her some advice or 2 cents that she may or may not want about the whole divorce process. So anyway, I'm going to try and see what this does. And if it does nothing, it does nothing. And certainly having another reconstruction when they fix my left boob is not, I'm sure, going to help anything. There are people that have the, it's a DIEP, D-I-E-P. When they take, you don't have to have implants to have reconstruction. There's a ton of different options of what you can do. And some people have tissue taken from their abdomen and use that tissue inside of, like, as, you know, instead of an implant, basically. And benefits to that are, it's your own skin. So, like, you know, accepting it is your body accepting it is an easier, I should say, easier process with a little asterisk on there. And it's also a pretty invasive process. Separate and aside from breast cancer, I have fibromuscular dysplasia. Big word, huh? It means I have to take Bayer every day and I can't jet ski or go on roller coasters. I can laugh now because it doesn't scare me so much. I've learned a lot about it. It used to be considered like a rare disease, but it's really an underdiagnosed disease. Anyway, you can look it up. Go to Neighbors to Know. I did an episode with Pam Mays, who runs the Fibromuscular Dysplasia Society of America, and learned a lot. How did I find out I had this? I had a headache. I had a really bad headache one day, and again, I'm not going to go too much into this, but it did impact the kind of surgery, reconstruction that I was going to have. But take a look on YouTube. Go to Neighbors to Know. Just search for Neighbors to Know. It'll come up. It's a little green icon with houses and an apartment on it. And you'll find an episode with me and Pam Mace, and she explained her journey. I explained mine. 95% of the time, it's women who have FMD. It's very interesting. But yeah, I just found out about it through, I guess a lot's happened with me through happenstance. I had a bad headache. I thought, I called the doctor, and it was like a Friday, and I'm like, you know, I've been having a really bad headache, and I don't get headaches. So, and it started bothering me here, and I'm like, maybe I have an ear infection, because those like freaking hurt. I mean, they hurt when you have babies, but when you're an adult, like, you realize how much they hurt. So I just called my doctor, and I'm like, can you just give me an antibiotic or something, because I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And I don't want to go into the weekend without, like, you know, being in pain. And she asked me if my jaw hurts. And I'm like, oh, didn't think about that. And I'm eating my Cheerios as I'm talking to her. And I noticed that, yeah, like my jaw hurt a little bit. And she sent me to the ER. And I'm like, what? Like, that seems a bit extreme. Like, why would I go to the ER? So fast forward, it turns out that if you're over the age of 40 and you have headaches and jaw, it's not really your jaw, I think, that she's concerned about. It's your carotids that was the issue. And I went to the ER, and I'm like, what the heck, whatever, like, what's going on? And all these doctors are converging, and because a lot of people don't know what FMD is, it's underdiagnosed. And there was one doctor who was older, and they all got together, and he's like, I know what this is. And a lot of people don't know. Even doctors don't know what it is. I'm blessed to be in the Boston area because they have an FMD clinic here, and I believe there's only 14, like, period, in the world, like 14 clinics that specialize in FMD, and one of them is at Mass General. But anyway, so how that impacted me, because I did have it in my carotids. It's interesting because the biggest concern is having stroke. This has nothing to do with breast cancer at all, but clearly there's things that impact, like other health things going on with you that could impact your breast cancer options post-surgery. But it does impact my arteries and my arterial walls. So they didn't want to do anything that was like going to impact, the deep, however you say it, that surgery. You're severing arteries and moving them up to your boobs, which is good because it'll increase blood flow. But if you have an arterial disease and like your arteries could like just, change shape, and all of a sudden, whoop, look, it dissects and there's your blood, boom, coming out of your artery. Not a good thing. So they're like, that, I don't know if I ever talked even about that, but that, I feel like, I don't know. I'm pretty confident that the reason my first plastic surgeon didn't pan out was because she didn't know what FMD was, and she wasn't comfortable doing the surgery. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's what it was. Because you hear someone has something arterial, and she was saying how, like, I would have to have that deep surgery done, but I don't think she wanted to touch me with a 10-foot pole because, like, if I bled out or had a stroke or something, that's a lot on her plate, too. So for me, it was just too invasive to do that. It sounds great because you think, I'm having a tummy tuck or something, but it's not just a tummy tuck. For the same reason that a mastectomy is not a boob job. It's not a tummy tuck. Yes, they're pulling stuff out of your stomach. And they tell you, I remember they said to me, you won't be able to do sit-ups again. And I'm like, that's a problem? Like, woohoo! I don't want to do sit-ups again. But then when you realize that, like, you're losing, because things are being severed in your abdominal region, and, it's not just sit-ups. It's like, did I say push-ups? I meant sit-ups. You're losing strength and having to work on your abdominals to have that area recover from surgery and have all this stuff recover from surgery. So it's just more than, I don't know, more than one area, I guess, to focus on. Anyway, I'm going to wind things down. I'm at 43 minutes. I am going to be starting Neighbors to Know back up again. I had 3 episodes that were in the works, and I'm excited to start it up again. Don't I look excited? No, I really am. It's just I feel like I wasn't ready for it before, and I feel like, especially now that I'm empty nesting, that it's time to find things that, like, what makes me, me, what makes Jen, Jen. And just getting that comment today was just another perfect example of, like, right time, right place, right words. Like, thank you for validating me and helping me understand, like, why I'm here. I know how to make videos and film stuff with, like, great lighting and good makeup and, great clothes and good hair and all that stuff. That's not what this is about. I save that for other stuff that's more professional. That's not what this is about. This is me sitting here with you, explaining to you what I'm going through to hopefully help you if you're going through this process yourself personally, and for caregivers, people that are taken care of or that know people that are going through this, to help them understand a little bit more so that they're, like, know what they're getting into, at least a little bit, from my story. Everyone's story is so different. No journeys are the same, clearly. I didn't have the deep. I just had my implants. Like most other people end up having silicone implants, and that's what I have. And there's a whole concoction of different permutations of choices of things that you can have, and sometimes they're not a choice of what you have. It's crazy. No 2 journeys are alike at all. But I'm going to stop there so I can go back to my chips and my wine and watching some TV. And yeah, my big 2 cents today are, like, sure, don't stay in unhappy land, but it's okay to be unhappy and to be honest about how it is that you're feeling, If you're sad, it's okay to say that you're sad. If you're mad, it's okay to say that you're mad. If it's like that for a long period, I can see how that's draining, which is why you just have to flip the pillow over and be like, okay, I'm going to, even if I fake it till I make it today. But you just have to be accepting of yourself, and, where you are is where you are. Your feelings are validated. It's, it's where you're at, and that's okay. And if other people like complain about, whatever, like, stop talking, get to the point, what's the point of this, blah, blah. Maybe you shouldn't be watching my freaking vlog if you don't want to, like, listen to my 2 cents of what is helping other people. So I'm very glad for those of you that are giving me your 2 cents, which is more and more every day. It makes me so happy. Happy that I'm helping. Because, like, there has to be some point or purpose to this whole freaking journey, I can't sit here trying to understand, like, why did this happen to me? Oh, I don't know, but I know that I share and I'm open, and if I can help other people, I will do that. So I hope this was helpful for you. And if you are, going through this, or you had your surgery already and you don't have nipples either, you can go like this and be like, I can do this all day and nothing will change. And I can go out into public and nothing will get hard. Eventually, I will have nipples again, but I don't today. And that's okay. Like, when will I go through life? Well, who knows? I shouldn't even go there and say that. But I'm just saying, like, at first when I saw pictures, I'm like, I would see pictures of women with no nipples, and I'm like, they look like freaking aliens. And I don't think I look like an alien. I think like I look like a woman who went through fucking surgery and is still here. That's what I look like, And scars tell stories. I have little scars of things, like this little oval, that tells a story. That's a great divorce story, actually. That's not why I got it. I mean, I got it way early on, but it's just like, you have scars all over the place, and they all tell stories. See this little mark over here? I don't know if you could see that. For whatever reason, I was sleeping, like, so deeply when I was in Germany that, like, I took my nail and I, like, scooped out a chunk of my skin. I don't even know why. I was sleeping so soundly. And I'm like, damn. And now I have this scar. It's September. It went there in June. It'll go away. It's getting lighter. But scars tell stories. Nobody is perfect. Everyone has some sort of shit going on. And people that don't talk about their shit are usually even more wound up about their shit. So I strongly encourage you to, like, share away. There is a TMI aspect. There are plenty of things I don't talk about. I am pretty, like, I mentioned that I'm divorced. I don't go into details. I'm just not going to do that. That's not what this is about. And I won't ever have a vlog about it. Whatever. But you gotta just share. Even if you freaking talk to yourself. Here's a vulnerable thing I will share with you that I did during the pandemic. Because I was a people person. I say was past tense because a lot of people annoy the living shit out of me since this whole thing happened. Like, I just don't have tolerance for a lot of people. And one thing I would do that I learned to do during the pandemic, I'd have earbuds in a lot just to, like, it was just so quiet. It was creepy. Like, no one wanted to see each other. Well, you weren't supposed to. And I'm like, I need freaking interaction, And I would put my earbuds in and, like, I'd have a conversation with someone on the phone or whatever, but sometimes I'd be walking, and as a woman, like, you have to be careful sometimes when you're walking by yourself, and I would, sometimes when I was walking by myself, if I felt unsafe at all, or if I thought someone was, like, following me, I would strike up a conversation with myself, making it seem like I was on the phone with someone, because you're less likely to be attacked if your attacker knows that, like, someone else is listening to what's going on. So I would just start talking like I was having a conversation with someone. I wasn't having a conversation with anybody. And you can judge all you want. I don't care. It kept me sane for quite a bit, and it kept me safe, And I could even say, like, talking to myself with my earbuds on and be like, yeah, I think there's someone who's walking pretty close behind me. You know, you mind staying on the phone with me while I walk? And all of a sudden, Mr. Stranger Danger walks in the other direction. So you know what? Talking to yourself is not always like a crazy thing to do. Sometimes it's a safe thing to do. And if you need to talk to yourself and mentor yourself or do whatever, then go do it. For Pete's sakes, don't be so worried about what other people think about stuff. They're going to judge no matter how concerned you are about what the heck they're doing. So that's my 2 cents of advice for today. You know, I felt really knocked down originally by my negative comments. I don't know how famous people do it, like getting all this like negative stuff all the time. But I guess they have publicists for that. But, you know, vent if you need to vent. Just don't stay there, but no, it's okay. You know, no one's life is perfect. If you think someone's life is perfect, it's probably because you don't know enough about them, because their life isn't perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. Shit happens. You got to roll with it. Be grateful for what you have. And I'm shutting down now because I'm going on 51 minutes. See you next time. Bye.